Well, hello there. We are live once again for another Jedi Academy. Welcome on this fine Saturday morning. You could be doing anything else, but like the addicts you are, like we all are, you are here to get your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes questions answered. Welcome to the show. It's Saturday. It's 10 a.m. It's time to have the best of the best answer all your questions. And if you're new and wondering what the hell this is the Jedi Academy, where we answer all your Star Wars Galaxy Heroes from some of the bestest people and some of the not bestest people in the galaxy, here to answer your questions. That's right, it's a Q&A show, and the way it works is if you have a question for our esteemed panel, all you need to do is put your question in the chat. Make sure you put question in front of your statement. I am on like quadruple duty today, so it really behooves you today to get it right. If you don't put question in front of your statement, I'm not going to see it. I don't want to hear any crocodile tears because you messed up, not me. So help me, help you, help me, help you, to help me, help you. That's the way it works. Dutch door action. Let's make it happen. Of course, you guys know who I am. I am Ranger J 1999, and we have got an incredible panel of guests today. I think this is one of our largest and bestest panels we've ever had, and I'm super excited. So grab your drinks, grab your snacks, whatever you need to get comfy, put some pants on, or don't put some pants on, whatever works for you, and get ready. We may have some more people come in, and we're going to go around and introduce everybody. So start getting your questions in. Spread the word that we're doing this. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And at the end, I will remind you guys that all these wonderful panelists are here, on their own time. So please do me a favor, check their shit out, support them. You know me, I'm always pimping all these guys' channels all the time. Just, they're doing you a huge favor. They don't have to be here. It's Saturday morning. I'm sure there's some things they can be doing, but they love you guys and they love this game. So they're here to answer your questions. So please help support them. It's very important. So all the links will be in the description. Check them out. You don't have to like all of them, but find the ones you do like. Give them a thumbs up. Watch their videos, helping them with their content. So there you go. I am a pimp, Utah. Don't you ever forget it, you son of a bitch. All right, let's go around and introduce everybody. We'll first start off with Clash. Clash, how's it going this morning, my friend?
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You've got your coffee and you're ready to go. It's been a while since you've been on.
Yeah, I got myself coffee. Got it.
Yeah.
It's the first time. What are you talking? Been a while. It's the first time.
I thought you'd been on before.
No,
I was at the Wednesday show.
I was on with you with good old Maurice and Team Money.
That's right.
Yeah, Lloyd, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Nev, our English representation today for the channel, who's not really in England.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor. Having a spot of tea?
No, coffee and nicotine.
Too right, you. All right. Also join us, who is not British. He's not really anything. He's just Carolinian, and we don't hold that against him. And he's wearing pants today. Good old Maurice.
Hey, y'all, how you doing?
It's going down on there, damn them Carolinas, man. You get some of that snow right there, out there.
What's up, guys?
Well, there you go. You're not talking southern, good old Maurice. I don't like it. It's confusing.
I am curious, though. What do crocodile tears sound like?
Well, what you do is you take some of them tears, you hit the ground. They sound like a bunch of metal hitting the ground. It's you got that salt and stuff.
Ba-ting!
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. Sounds like someone spitting some tobacco. All right. Also, our returning champion, all the way up from the Rocky Mountains, somewhere up there, fighting some bears and skiing. We've got Warrior from Warrior Presents us here.
What's going on, you guys?
Oh, my God, you do that every time. Oh, my Jesus. Oh, my God. Well, leave your camera going on. Everybody else does. We got to see that punum. Show that punum.
Right. You guys don't want to see me.
We just
picking my nose and
okay.
Drinking my coffee and
sure.
and scratching my forehead.
Okay, yeah, sure. It's your forehead. Oh, I got the damn thing about highlight. It's not flashing around. Also joining us, we continue on with the epicness of this stream. We've got It's Just Ian, the rage, my young apprentice for the raging, because I'm known for my rages, but Ian's trying to catch me up. Ian, what's going on, buddy?
How's it going, man? And yeah, maybe one day I can outrage you, if that's even possible.
I will teach you the ways of the rage.
We'll
Good. I feel your anger. And then last but not least, we've got from my group, my guild, my homies, representing Ma MC, We've got the one, the only Mandalorian himself here.
Well, hello there.
That's not Mandalore. That's his cute little doggy. Recently married. Recently, I don't know. Recently what? You went to Disney World or something? Honeymoon?
No, I'm actually going in May.
Okay, there you go. Why couldn't you go in April when we're doing our run? Thanks, Mandy.
Sorry.
Fail. Epic fail. All right, so get your questions in, and I will start getting those scooped up. So we give everybody some time to get here, get your questions, and then we will start going down the list and start getting it to happen. No, Elliot Worsfold, that's wrong. Shame on you. God damn it, the Grande Mandy comparisons have already begun. Jesus.
Oh my God, we're not even
that's not
7
even,
minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, just automatically in, and it's already begun. Jesus. All right, so we're gonna go around and talk about what's on our mind for the game this week. So we'll start with you, Clash. I'm just go down the line in order. What's on your mind this week for the game? What are you thinking about? Anything you're working on? Anything like that? Anything on the game on your mind?
What? Oh, you get the helmet on. Nice.
Yes.
Looks good, Mandalore. I am, I'm trying to get myself, like, maybe mildly starting to ramp up for this Galactic Legends stuff. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't really think I'm going to do too much for it, but I'm thinking about it just because I'm so far behind on the gas meta that maybe I'll catch this one. I don't know. Who knows?
It's hard because for me, like, if that's a great point. I've been talking about this all week. We've been getting a lot of questions. I'm like, if you don't have gas, finish gas. You know that, and then you can go for the Galactic because they're not going anywhere. Once it launches, you can just start. It'll be there. It's not going anywhere. You don't have to wait like 3 or 4 months down the line. You know, it's just a matter of when you're ready to do it.
I struggle to even call it a meta, even because it has like 15 counters now. Hell, I was able to counter it with a new lead yesterday. So I like a relic gas team. So I don't even like the idea of calling it a meta at this point. That's why I'm like a little bit, feeling like maybe I should just put my focus elsewhere, even though I'm 50 shards away from getting them to 7 stars. I don't know. I almost want to just say screw it. I'll get it later and then start.
I think Clash went poopy. There he is. Oh, there he is. He froze for a second.
Hey.
Yeah, he froze for a second.
Sorry.
So, yeah, the thing with gas is one thing I've been noticing because I've been, we do Ross reviews every day and stuff like that. Is that some of people send me stuff like, "How am I modding this correctly?" Like, no, you're not. That's why you're losing. You have to mod in a certain way, and you need certain mods to really make it a pain in the ass. I've been having the opposite effect that you have, Clash and GAC. No one's beaten my gas team yet. Like it's held on defense every time. So, and then
they don't have a Relic 7 Stormtrooper Han.
They have all kinds of stuff. It's just they're just saying like, I hate your team.
Nice.
Like it's so fast and 8 kills. But yeah, it can be counted. And when I see someone with a 7-star gas, I'm like, okay, I'll keep mine on offense, and then I just put down Padmé. So we have to maintain our cavernous. I'm on an epic winning streak. I can't ever lose again. All right, Nav, you always play from the bottom, and by that I mean you like to have those early GP accounts. What's on your mind this week before the game?
GAC, baby. It's GAC all the time, as far as I'm concerned. We've got a GAC on, and I am loving doing the early divisions at the moment. My my Horde account finally made it up to 85, so I was able to compete in this GAC, and it's been fun going back to the beginning. My GP wasn't quite low enough to go into the bottom division 11, but I did go in at 10, so it's fun because you don't have massive rosters, and you've got to figure out, you've got to come up with some kind of strategy and some tactics, how to beat your opponent, how to somehow find five-man teams for defense, and then find enough depth in your roster to be able to beat your opponent. And it's so much fun to have to strategize and stuff like that. So with me, it's just not phase 3 is going to be much easier because I got my gear 11 double not 3 Zetas, but I've got 2 Zetas on my Gear 11 Revenant. So yeah, my opponents should be quaking in their boots right now because I'm in a group of 8. Nobody else has got a Revan, so
it's nice. It's very nice.
Nice. And
Very nice.
still not faced a single Hyperdrive bundle account yet, which is weird. I really thought I would have been facing some Hyperdrive bundle accounts. Because everybody in my group is over 1 million. I'm just over 800k GP, but my top 20 is better than everybody else's top 20.
Oh, that's interesting.
So even though I'm just over 800k, I'm at the top of my group. I'm at the top of my group of 8 league, but everybody else is over 1 million because I'm in. What is it? I think it's 800,000 to 1.3 for division 10. So yeah, still, it's a hell of a lot of fun. So I've got a full Geo squad and I've got a full Jedi Knight Revan squad. So yeah, my opponent should be very, very, very scared.
All right. It's just Ian. Speaking of GAC, what's on your mind this week, buddy?
You know what, man? I'm just at this point with GAC where I'm gonna try to just, destroy these people, but at the same time, I can't care too much about it, because stuff with RNG happens all the freaking time. I could just not get ability block on Echo, and I just lose the entire GAC, and I lose my top rank. And that's just how the cookie crumbles, man. So I like the game mode. It's like probably the only game mode I really enjoy playing, really. Especially not TB. I really do not like TB. But yeah, it's I like GAC. It's really strategic. I think there's a way you can go about it that I just like about it. I guess it's just really fun. So,
all right, Mandalore, Mandy.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm bored.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Well, my Schwartz is pretty small.
Let's see how well you handle it. What's on your mind this week, my friend?
Dude, I'm bored, man.
You're
I'm
bored?
super bored. Yeah.
Well, we do have the new Galactic Legends coming up, but then again, you have everything in the game like Gear Relic 7, so...
But that's going to be in, it's over a month away still, and they are... This slow trickle of information is really frustrating.
Mandy, listen.
Yes?
You should enjoy just dominating everybody.
I actually lose in GAC a lot more in 5s. 3s is much better. I much prefer 3s. Yeah, I don't know why.
That's not a very 5s. That's not a very Cabber answer. You should be dominating both.
Yeah, well, yeah, no.
If you're Cabber, you dominate both, my friend.
No, I'm Chromium.
No, Cabber. If you're not Cabber, you're not alive. You're not alive, really. Cabber's laugh.
Yeah. But I'm kind of bored.
Well, we got to find something for Mandy to not be bored with. So
assault battles.
Oh, there you go. Speaking of bored, good old Maurice is there with the Kardashians, apparently.
Busted.
Oh, wow. Let's see. We got the 4. Okay, good. You're covering up the mother in the middle there. That's good. So we can just see. No. We don't want to see her. Go back to where you were. Okay, there we go. We got the other 4 Kardashians.
Yeah.
Gon, what's going on with you in the game? What are you thinking about?
Just playing my Grand Arena. I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn. I don't know. I'm enjoying the game right now. I'm playing really well. Haven't been cleared yet. Cleared everybody. It's going all right. Definitely won't be ever in the top 200 with the slopping through offense, but it's working for me. I'm winning, so it's a lot of fun. Testing a lot of teams out, getting some new stuff in. Yeah, kind of, pumping. Just kind of dragging my heels on taking first order officer up, but we'll see.
Yeah, I just took up Kylo. I've got the pieces pretty much for the entire team. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see what the other shoe's going to drop before I go full Monty on this Galactic Legends stuff, because I have a sneaky suspicion they're going to throw a curveball at us. I'm like, okay, Relic 5 and 7 I was thinking about, but if you added that, I'm going to be like, I'm going to take my time, because that's crazy.
Well, I mean, if the next step is you need Hux and Sith Trooper at R7 too, 98% of the player base that's just going to be totally unachievable without spending ridiculous amounts of money. There's no sense to get these characters up, inflating your GP for Grand Arena and your guild for TW, and then just have to stall out. There's no reason for you to have a Relic 5 First Order Officer if you can't get the rest of the characters. So.
No. So
I'm waiting to see.
there you go. Warrior, my friend. Anything on your mind pertaining to the game?
Yeah.
Got some thoughts, some ideas?
Yeah, I'm excited to see the next evolution of what they're going to disclose for the next step for you guys. I know they said that it was going to be for sure 13 characters. That's what I heard, that it was going to be for sure characters for the evolution. So that's interesting that it will in fact be characters. That does mean that they're going to take their time disclosing them, though. And the reason for that is because they want to make sure that you spend on the characters, and then they'll disclose a few more. So you spend, and then they'll disclose a few more, and then you spend. And then you'll be too far in, and then you'll be obligated to spend. It's so smart.
It's all about
really
the spending.
Good.
Yeah,
they're really.
Well, I really
good
thought
at
they would
getting
put something out this week, but I guess they're going to wait till probably next week and the week after because it's coming
They got to
out in
get
March.
you. They got to get you committed on those relics, baby. And so yeah, they're really pretty smart about dragging this out till March, to make sure that everybody gets so far committed that they feel obligated in their spending. So I do kind of feel a little bit bad because you're right. You guys are going to get your free to play farm on with those new characters, and then you're going to find out that Relic 7's required, and you guys are going to be really upset. I'm sorry, but
Yes.
that's going to happen, at least for one of those two characters. But it is what it is.
All right.
So I'm just curious to see what's available and what other new characters are coming out and where they take the other relics and what characters will be discovered and stuff. But I was just thinking about this stream, and I was thinking it's how it's like the Super Bowl.
What do you mean?
Thank you. We show up every week and we perform for free. We don't get paid for our services, just like Jennifer Lopez and Shakira did not get paid for their services. Yet, it is beneficial for Shakira and J-Lo to do their performance at halftime. Why, may you ask? Well, let me tell you. Because their exposure on the Super Bowl gets them a 2,000% jump in sales. And so it was the exposure and exposure alone that benefits them being on that show, even though they got paid nothing for the performance. So us being on this live stream helps by the exposure alone. So with that said, everyone that is listening should be going and checking out It's Just Ian and Clash's channel and Nev's channel and Mandalore's channel, and we all know good old Maurice and me and everybody, but for all the new individuals who are just now hopping on, you guys should all be going and checking out, for exposure's sake, these other wonderful YouTubers and checking out their channels and saying, why did we invite them, and why are they a part of this new amazing ensemble and cast, and why are they considered experts in the game, and seeing what it is that they contribute to this cast, because there is a reason why they were picked and why they are part of the best of the best of the best in this game. So go after this live stream and see what it is. Yes, and figure out what it is, and then hit subscribe, hit the little belly icon, and then start to watch their channels, because they will have all of the best content for you for the game. And then if you just want some entertainment, want to watch some banter, and want to watch some people be stupid and some story time, go over to my channel and make sure you subscribe to my channel for some silly story time.
That's right. That's science. It's a good way of putting it, my
science.
Friend. That is science. Definitely science. How did everybody do in TB this week? I know my guild, we got 31 stars. Let's go. Nev, are you in a Dark Side GOTB guild?
Yeah, the Horde is. They got in the 20s.
Okay.
I mean, I literally, my account's less than 1 million, so literally I just go in, I deploy, I leave, and I go in, I deploy, I leave. You know, I'm a bit like
it was a little bit different for me. I actually had to do all the battles and stuff.
You know, I get a lot of rewards for, you know, the tiniest amount of effort. But you know, my good fortune is I just picked up a 5-star malevolence, so everybody in my fleet shard is now crapping themselves because they're all like 5-star Akbars and 6-star Moff Tarkin ships, and now all of a sudden there's a 5-star malevolence. So yeah,
you're very mean. You're very
loving
mean.
it.
Yeah, you're a very mean man. Ian, how did your guild do?
Well, I am in MC now, and they carried me to 31, so I appreciate that.
Huzzah!
Yeah, thanks, Mandalorian. I haven't said thanks for letting me join, but I do appreciate that.
Yeah,
It's
It
awesome.
wasn't
Guild.
me.
Or was it?
I think Old Ranger didn't have any help in that, getting you in that guild there, Ian. I never got my kickback. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Guild Maurice, how did your guild do?
30.
30. Very nice. Very, very nice. Mandy, you? How did Maud finish?
It's a little bit of a sore subject. We got 31. We were just shy of 32. Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't want to talk about it. Don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
Very sore subject.
Okay, so you want to talk about it now? Okay, he's having Clash, how did your guild do?
I'm actually in the same guild with Good Maurice, so we both got 30. We're probably just maybe a couple months from 31. We're getting close though. He's joined me in the Defenders of Endor.
Okay,
Cool.
very
Fuzzy
nice.
Ewok guild. Yep.
Wait, an Ewok guild? Don't. Oh God, Finn's not here.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
he?
yeah.
Oh Jesus. Oh my God.
I don't have the Ewoks.
Yeah,
Sorry.
We
yeah.
let him in
Yeah.
on condition he hits good scoundrels, so it's all good.
All right. All right, so let's start getting some questions. Let me get this going and start getting your questions in, guys. It behooves you to get your questions in sooner rather than later because we do have a cutoff time. So let me start off here. First question for, give me a second here. All right, they're flowing in very nicely now, but I need to keep track. It's been a while since we had this many. All right, Ian, we've got the first question for you. Well, first of all, Diplocal says, how are all y'all doing? I think we've kind of answered that one. DPK, glad to have you here. He says, question for Ian, how does it feel to be a more popular YouTuber?
I'm not popular. I'm not.
Are you sure?
I don't like the whole famous thing.
All right, well then why are you doing YouTube?
For the money.
Okay, there you go.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. I don't know. I do like doing a lot of videos like almost every day, but there's just like a thing about putting out content that I just like. It makes me feel like I accomplished something, and on top of that, I feel like I'm helping somebody out there.
Okay.
So I just I don't know. I guess you could. I don't know. I'm famous. Not that famous.
You're infamous. There you go. All right, then we'll get to that. Was a fun question. Let's get to a real question here. Revenator, that is not a real question. I will exclude your stupid ET questions every time. Get out of here. Knock it off. If you guys don't know, Revenator is my bane of existence. He puts eternal twins in every question, and I won't read them. All right, so Hellnix, this question for you, Ian, says, so I just took my General Skywalker 7 stars Gear 13. How do I mod him in the rest of the 501st? And what's the turn-in for that team? I'll be temporarily using a Silk for now until ARC Trooper is ready.
So the entire team?
Yeah, so it's, yeah, I can help you if you get stuck, but
yeah, maybe others want to come, jump.
Well,
in on
where's
this
your
one.
gas at? Is your gas like
So yeah,
7?
mine's maxed. The entire team is Gear 13. Some of the clones are not Relic 7, except for 5. Some of the others are just 3, 4, 5ish. But I think I have a good grasp on the team since I've been using it a lot lately.
Yeah.
So, did you want like the Zeta order? I guess just like.
Well, Zetas
the
you have to
modding,
have.
right?
Well, yeah, Zetas you have to have all the Zetas on. But I'll say real quick what I've got. You tell me if you have any differential. Maybe that'll help. So for
Okay.
gas, it's offense, and I have a defense set on him, and it's all protection and offense secondaries and speed secondaries. For Rex, actually, he's got nothing but health mods on him, but I made him super tanky. I'm not Rex, 5's super tanky. Rex is my fastest. I think he's at 306, 308. And I've got speed set on him. And then for Echo and ARC Trooper, especially ARC Trooper, it's offensive mods with crit chance. So if there's any deviation from that.
Yeah, so I think the best way to mod a gas is what you said with offense set and defense, because if you're talking about in arenas, who you're going to be trying to stop from countering you and like which teams you're going to be probably seeing the most is mirror match, so like another gas, Padmés and CLSs, all of those have some way that they stop crits. So like in the mirror match, you can't crit out of turn with gas being there. Padmé has protection up, so you can't really crit there. And also guard with CLSs. So I think offense versus those is one of the best sets you can run, all around uses. Not so much versus Darth Revan's, but if you have a Relic 7 or a Relic up gas, it doesn't matter really how you're going to mod those guys. You're probably going to kill the Darth Revan's and Maliks anyways. And the defense set, I think, is super, super awesome as well. There's also a way to go about modding him for just all defense to just kind of stomp out the CLS counter. If you guys were to put that in a GAC on defense, you pretty much just negate the CLS unless they are forced to use Wat. And if they're forced to use Wat, I think that's a huge advantage, I think. So yeah, I think offense though and defense is probably the best sets for gas. Rex just stupid fast. Mine's only at 285. I only use him really versus Darth Revan's, so he doesn't need me super fast. And Echo, I think offense is pretty good, like for the same reasons as gas, but I just suck up on some crit damage and crit chance just for the heck of it. And kind of the same thing for Arc. He's nothing too crazy, but I do like a lot of offense because of his turret. And then for defense again on 5s, just pretty much do all defense sets. The one thing you don't want to do in the gas teams is never mod your gas, and I would say probably your 5s too, for any HP. You don't want any HP because like those same counters, like the CLS teams and the Padmé teams, you have courage and you have with CLS exposes if there's a 3PO, and those do percent HP hits to your team, and you don't want that. So if you guys were to mod those, I would say just 5s and gas. I would not go for HP. Go for like the defense sets. Maybe if you don't have a Gear 13, gas, and you have like a 5 or 6 star one, then I would probably go for a bunch of offense on your 5, so you can get even more offense when you have a sacrifice. But yeah, I think that's about it for
Chewbacca hits for health percent as well.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Same thing with Malik with his health pull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you really don't want HP. It really doesn't benefit you.
It hurts. Protection. It's the key word of the day. Protection. Yeah. All right. So next question, we're gonna go. We got some for Warrior. One's a fun one here, real quick. Danilo Papaya says, "Question: is Warrior eating Rocky Mountain oysters and just does not want us to see it?"
Oh yeah, they're so good.
Especially first thing in the morning. Coffee and Rocky Mountain oysters. That's why Warrior looks like he's a buff god. Then he goes and bench presses 600 pounds. Your symbol's covering your face, so we can't see your face. All we see is the Spartan Warrior symbol instead of you actually your face. It's fantastic. Oh my God, Warrior's become a true Spartan. All right, and here's a serious one. From Breer's Aegon, it's this question: Warrior, now that McMold 2 is back, are you the next to come out of retirement?
Oh, I highly doubt it. I think I could probably wait 3 or 4 months and probably only see like one thing change in the game.
Yeah.
I could probably wait a year and only see like one new thing added and maybe like 5 or 6 new characters. The truth is, I don't see a whole lot changing very quickly, and then what changes happen. I mean, I could probably wait a year and then just come into the game in a year and just casually take my time and decide what to do when I want to do it, just because of the way they've changed the format now of the events. So I could come back at any time if I really wanted to, and there's no rush. The longer I wait, the better it is for me, to be completely honest. But honestly, I have had a real low desire to come back, and every time I go to like the forums and go, oh, is there anything changed? It's like, really, there's not much. And when I'm around Sure Shot, who's a good buddy of mine, he plays. He's always like rushing to do dailies. Like we're hanging out 11 o'clock at night, trying to play board games or something, and he's, sitting there distracted trying to do dailies while we're trying to, socialize and have fun. And it just reminds me of why I passed on that. So
Yep.
I don't think so. I enjoy bantering and hanging out with you guys and talking shop and stuff like that. And like I said, the knowledge is still inside my head. It'll eventually one day fade, but I think the days of evolution for me has come.
Yeah. All right, and you've listed like what you would want to see changes from the company too, right? Before you would even consider coming back, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I love Star Wars. That will never change. I loved Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the game. I mean, I love the collection piece of it, and I mean, I have thousands in this game. So I mean, I would love to be able to come back and pick it back up and the Grand Arena Championships and my Scissorman accounts, and I mean, literally, I could come back in and go get my, Malik. I was literally Malik ready on Scissorman, so I mean, I could come back in and kind of, pick up where I left off or whatever. But yeah, there just was some distinct issues that I had with kind of the direction of where it was going, and the lack of kind of content and just how it was being handled. And I mean, I always tell people, if you're gonna, you should never just complain. I don't believe in that. I think you should complain and then give a solution, or complain and give a solution, and complain and give a solution. And then if at some point, if you're going to continue to complain and give a solution, if the solutions aren't received, at some point you should just stop complaining and just walk away. And that's the solution, is just to stop complaining and just walk away. And that's what I chose to do.
Yep.
At some point, the community doesn't need another person barking, and I'm the person barking. I just need to walk away, because the community doesn't need all the negativity. They need people that care and love the game and all of that. And I love the game, and they don't need me being any more negative. They need me to be there helping them out and, being positive and that kind of thing. And so it's better on the other side to just show up once a week and help answer questions than be in the game and be all frustrated. You know what I mean? Because when you're playing, you're frustrated. I was kind of where Mandalore was, with the frustration level of being just bored, like he said at the beginning of the live stream, where you're just at 7 million GP, just kind of like, what now? So it's not a mentally healthy place to be with the game. When you've invested that much into the game, you want to be happy with it. So I just rather be kind of on the outside and help people who are still enjoying it.
Yep, you do you, my friend. All right, next question. We're going to my man Clash DOE, and we have a question here from WetL73. He says, question, at this point, what is the optimal first order team for offense and for defense? And are the two viable? And are there two viable first order teams at this point?
Well, you're asking me a first order question?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Do I need to go to somebody else?
You probably don't know this about me in first order.
No, I don't.
They're so of all characters I have unlocked, they're the only ones I have unmodded, and the only ones I haven't taken above tier 8.
Okay. All right, so we'll come back to you then.
Well,
I know who to go to. Good old Maurice. We love first order, so let's talk about this. I know you're with me on this bandwagon.
Well, let's see. Defensively is tough. No first order officer. Don't put him on defense. He's a liability. He's unpredictable. You want the consistent characters on defense, right? You want to know which characters and how they're going to act on defense, right? So you want Kylo. It's incredibly difficult to make a good first order defensive team. You need a very, very fast Kylo Ren, an old Kylo Ren.
It's a Kylo Ren.
Yes. So you need him very, very fast. Talking it depends on your GP, of course, but mine is like 292 speed, and you want to put him under crew lead. You can throw Hux in there. Hux is a little tough defensively because, again, it all depends on what they bring at you. If they bring a super fast team, he's not going to use his assist. But at the same time, if you have Hux going first, they have a pre-taunt. He's just going to waste that assist move on a pre-taunt, right? So he's kind of tough. You could use him. Let me just start over. Kylo, you want both Kylos, Hux.
What about Sith Trooper?
Well, yes, Sith Trooper is good, but I use Sith Trooper with Sith.
Okay.
So, Kylo, Hux,
Executioner,
and then the fifth is really a flex play. If you want whoever it's going to be, whether it be Phasma or First Order Stormtrooper, they're both very good for that specific team. You want them to go dead last. The hardest part about First Order defensively is getting them clocked properly. because it's very, very easy to waste turn meter on that team. Like you want them to go in the same order every time, and with the crew lead, you get bonus turn meter. Fox is giving out turn meter. Hux gives himself turn meter, and then of course Phasma and First Order Stormtrooper round up the back with turn meter as well. So that's why you want a very, very first Kylo, very, very fast Kylo. Let's say you have a 280 Kylo. That sounds ridiculous, but the faster you make Kylo Ren, the less speed you need on the rest of the team, because he's going to just open up, give everybody 25% turn meter, and then they just keep going and going and going and going and going. Offensively, it's very situational. There's so many of them now. A lot of people, myself included, if I don't put them on defense, I will keep the Kylos and Fox for Malik cleanup. That's automatic. That's a great Malik cleanup team. They're very good against certain teams like bounty hunters, like scoundrels. If you have really, really good first order, they can take out Night Sisters. Hux really adds a whole new element. Hux lead is good offensively. I just think it's a little slow and vulnerable for defense. Others might disagree, but
okay.
Yep.
All right.
I was all over the place there. Sorry, guys.
No, you answered it. So, fun question from you from Bad Rongo. Question is Gom wearing pants? Is the rest of the panel wearing pants? I'm pretty sure the rest of the panel is wearing pants. The only question mark we have is Good on Maurice, and I'm pretty sure you're wearing pants today, Gom.
Yeah. Well, I changed shirts right before the stream because everyone looked all fresh and ready to go today, and I came with my hair sticking up in t-shirt. No, I got on.
Actually, showed he was wearing pants.
I got on long johns today.
Okay, well that counts. So pants of some kind. Okay. All right. Next, we'll go back to you, Clash. And the next question: what the hell is this? Hold on, before I get to your question, Yuta said, "Question: list the key elements of a total quality management approach and outline the benefits and risks of adopting a TQM approach for the company." Get the hell out of here, Yuta! I've already taken my business degree courses. My God, we're going to spend time on that, and shame on you. So here's your question from our good friend Durgan Gurgan. For you, Clash. He says, question: my gas is 65 out of 100. Should I take my Rex and 5 gear 13 or hold onto the mats for now?
Oh, Rex and 5s at Gear 13 are great on their own, right? You can use them in so many different ways, even with or without gas at 7 stars. In my opinion, and this is maybe just a TW thing, at our RGP for the guild, we still get more holds with Rex lead. It's sprinkled throughout our clone walls than we do our shock teas or our gas leads. Really, it's pretty incredible how underrated Rex lead still is. And generally, what we're using is that the sort of Rex 5s, R2, Barriss, and Echo. Those 5 right there on defense are still really tough to bring down. And so I think taking those 2 to Gear 13 while you get those last 45 shards of gas is a smart move and can be used in a lot of really cool ways still. So me personally, I'm like, I love that Rex has been somewhere near the meta since he came out for his leader, and I love that he still gets such great use today. So absolutely, he's a great relic for me.
All right. And when for the Rex lead, who do you run since you're not using gas on that team? You just going all clones and like a snips for the 501st buff, or what are you doing?
No, if we're running them on in TW sometimes, or even in 5s for Grand Arena, I'll do it sometimes just to throw people off. Rex, 5s, Echo, R2, and Xeris. If you have a Zeta on your Barriss and you've got the clones modded appropriately, it's just so tricky to get through the smoke screen and the taunts and the constant heals and the dispel.
All right. So next question, we're going to go to Mandalorian. He has a question here. He says, question, at the over 5 million GP mark, why do people keep putting Ewoks on defense? I laugh and then I feel bad for them, especially getting 64 points for taking down the murder bears.
Wait, is that a thing?
That does happen. I just had I'm over 5 million, Division 1, and I had someone put down like Rogue One, on defense and stuff. So explain the mentality and why you think that they're doing this.
As my dog is barking at the kid in the hallway.
Okay.
I can't explain that. I don't think that that's a good idea at all. I mean, Ewoks before they adjusted the Forest Moon event, Ewoks were very easily Imperial troopered, and that carries over to GAC. So I don't know why anyone would do that.
I don't understand that either. I've seen it like,
Yeah.
like, and this is what maybe we'll throw it to everybody. We'll start with you, Manny. When I notice it is when someone goes full offense. What I see is they put like 4 semi-tough teams on the front line, like Grievous, one of their Revens, that kind of stuff on the front line. Then you get to the back line, you're like, huh? What? What do you mean?
Yeah, nah.
What is this?
I'm all for going offense heavy in GAC, but I'm also all for not giving up a value win and dropping Ewoks or Phoenix or Rogue One on D or 100% value wins. I mean, you don't want someone with, a third string Imperial troopers to get a max banner kill on your Ewoks because you dropped Ewoks on D. I just think that that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's a strange play, and I mean, you understand it when you're looking at lower GPs, right? Because you only have so many teams. But when you're
sure. If you're in Division 1, I don't think that's going to be conducive to you winning.
No, it gives away too many banners. I mean, that's interesting, Nev. I mean, it's a different ballgame for you for GAC because it's just like whatever you can scrape together, you put that crap on defense.
Well, I mean, it does. It really, really does depend on the division you're in. I mean, when you're at the bottom, we're talking 11, 10, 9. Then yeah, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. You're still only finding 3 or 4 squads for defense. Obviously, 3v3 is much, much easier. But when it's 5v5, you're really, really scraping the barrel. I mean, I do put Ewoks in, but they're all level 1 and they're a mixture of 4, 5, 6, and 7 stars. So they're less than 10k. But I'm putting them behind my Geos just so that I can put a squad in because I know that my opponent ain't getting past my Geos. But my main account is in Division 3, and I do come across a lot of people that still put the Ewoks. So, we're talking 3.5 to 4 million GP. And a lot of people will put their Ewoks in, and there's nothing wrong with putting them there. If you're kind of like going for a specific strategy, if you've looked at the entire roster for your opponent and you know that you can out-banner them, then you're not thinking about defense, you're thinking about offense. You're thinking, well, they've got enough in the tank to beat my 7 teams. I just need to beat their 7 teams and get more banners. But if you think it's going to be close, then yeah. No, I mean, I never, and I do mean I never put my Ewoks in defense, and that's for Division 3, and that's because everybody's got Nest. So there's just no point because I'm not giving up 64 banners. And plus, the Ewoks are a great mop-up team. So why would you waste your Ewoks in defense when they're a great mop-up team? If if the RNG gods smite you, if RNGs, this is having a coffee break and you lose, and you've still got 2 or 3 of you can put the murder burrs in there, hit the auto, and yeah, sure, it's 2 teams on, but no, the earlier ones, it doesn't matter. I would say it really, really doesn't matter up to and including Division 5, because most people haven't got a particularly effective. Most people don't have a particularly effective Nest, and as I discovered recently, certain Ewok teams, even a Gear 10 5-star Zeta Nest will not get past certain Ewoks.
Yeah.
So so from a strategy point of view, you can put the Murder Bears team in that resists Nest and kind of catch people off guard. A bit like that there are certain speed Phoenix teams that you can put in that throw people off thinking, oh, I can just put my Wampa in and solo this. And no, it doesn't. So from a strategy point of view, if you've got a decent makeup of Murder Bears, then it can, with certain nests, throw people off.
Yeah. All right.
I've had that before where I got, somebody who had like Relic 5, all Ewoks with all the Zetas. And I was like, oh, I'll take my, I've got, a really good Imperial Troopers. And I went in and then I lost. I was like, what? And then I'm like, now I know why they put their Ewoks on defense. That's fun. Now I've got a primed up Ewok team. This is going to be joyous. So It happens. There are some people with some pet project Ewok teams out there over 6 million GP. It happens.
Yeah.
So it's not often.
And those three teams that you just talked about, Rogue One, Ewoks, and Phoenix, all have use to either counter other decent teams you see on defense, like First Order, or they can be used very effectively on cleanup. Right. So I've used my Phoenix versus Malik often. I use Rogue One now. If I have left a Relic 7 gas, they can actually take out a Relic 7 gas if you've got at least a Gear 12 Rogue One team. That's really effective. And the Murder Bears, of course, I've seen people use them against like a standing General Grievous if needed. So they all have such good use in those situations where you don't want to spend a really solid team, but at least a smattering of decent teams right there in the mid-level to clean up some of those really powerhouse characters that are oftentimes left on their own anyway. It makes very little sense to me to put them on defense like that.
Yeah. All right, we're going to start with you, Nev, for this next question, and then we'll kind of go around the corner because I'm kind of interested in what people think on the panel thinks about this question. This is from Jason Krulik. Says, question, who do you expect to be better in Arena, Galactic Legend Rey or Kylo? Nev, we'll start with you. And
Rey. I'm going to go
Rey?
with Rey.
Why Rey?
Well, because we've been told that the mechanics of the ultimate mechanics on these characters are going to be light side and dark side dependent. So Rey's only going to work with light side, and Kylo Ren is only going to work with dark side. And I just think that right now, more people are working on Gear 13 Relic 7 light side characters than dark side. So you've got, people are working on Padmé teams, people are working on Jedi Knight teams, people are working on Galactic Republic teams, they're working on clone teams. I just think that there are people working more on those light side factions to Gear 13 and relicking them than they are the dark side. Dark side, sure, people are doing Sith Empire, and people are doing separatists. I just think that with more and more people working towards the higher gear levels and the higher relic levels for the light side GOTB, that there's more impetus on squads that are light side. And once you've got that JTR, to be able to just throw, if you've got your 3 or 4 or 5 squads of light side and you've got like 2 or 3 relic light side characters left, if you can throw her in the lead and then throw a couple of low tier low relic light side characters on that squad and then make it awesome, that's yeah, I'm geared. That's what I'm thinking is going to be it's going to be better, just purely because of the number of light side characters people will farm. I think more light side are farmed over dark side, and you put the higher gear on that.
All right, anybody think that Kylo Ren is the route to go?
Well, we talked about this the last time I was on, right? Like I can't speak. Like Nev was bringing in all the I can't speak for the kits. I don't know how they're going to interact. But if we're just breaking it down faction by faction, I think if you look at your Grand Arena matchups and you often find yourself with a pretty sizable mod advantage, I think you're going to do better with First Order. If you find yourself at a mod disadvantage, I think you're going to do better with Resistance. First Order is more of a just base stat mechanic, like just a stat stacking squad in the Resistance, as is. I mean, they're more of a mechanic based squad, right? You can manipulate speed, you can get turn meter from all sorts of areas. Like BB-8 just instantly makes your team first. Like I think it all depends on your mod inventory, which team you're going to find more interesting and successful.
All right, anybody else want to ask?
I was just going to say, I think you should think of the totality of the circumstances. So that also includes ships. You know me, I love ships, and so I would say that I think that the Resistance side is going to be less impactful in ships, even though there will be ships relevance. I think First Order is going to be more impactful in ships, and I think there is going to be a heavier focus in ships for dark side ships, because there has been a much heavier light side ships relevance. We had a light side meta with Rebels, then we had a light side ships meta now. And before that, we had Mace. So we had Mace, then we had Rebels. Now we have, light side with General Kenobi. And so it's just like nonstop. And they're going to really want to try to kind of flip that. And they tried that with General Grievous's ship, the Malevolence, and it's not really flipping it very much because you can choose, and not a lot of people chose. And so I think they're going to put a heavier emphasis on First Order to try to get a few more people to choose that one this time versus the Resistance. So I think there's going to be an edge on that. And so if that's the case, and I do believe they're going to code it in a way that there's going to be a slight edge defensively, so that can kind of have an edge on defense, then I think that would be the route to go, because you'll have the advantage in ships slightly for defense. And then, of course, it would be advantageous to kind of knock two birds out one stone. So, and I believe on character-wise, I believe that both of those characters are going to be equally advantageous meta-wise. I believe this will be the first time in history that they've built two characters to be equally as meta-defining as the other in uniquely different ways. I think they're going to build them in a way that you could take either character with unique characters and you can just win. I think it's going to be a unique build where you can literally build characters and take them in and win, no matter what. If you have that character, you're just going to win if you have it. So as long as you have the right team,
Okay.
and the right relics and the right meta, you know what I mean? Like as
The
long
right
as you have it.
mods.
Yeah, it's right mods. As long as you have the team, you'll be able to win. As long as you have one or the other. I don't think if you have Hirsch, you'll have the edge, or if you have him, you'll have the edge. I think whichever route you go, you'll be rewarded. I think, but with ships, I do believe there will be an edge slightly on defense if you go with First Order. That's my personal opinion.
All right. Anybody else want to jump in on this Galactic Rey or Galactic Kylo as possibly who's going to be the best and who you should go for first?
I'd say Ray.
You gonna say Rey?
Yeah, because DB and your guilds are going to want it.
That's a good point.
That's the only reason. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
I mean, Rey's the hero of the story, and historically speaking, Resistance have been much better against First Order than First Order really have been against Resistance, I
That's
think.
true.
I mean, have you seen their kits of the new Poe and Finn? I mean, you just see those kits and how this new Rey is going to interact with them. It's a kind of a no-brainer. I'm not sure though about like in a PvP, standpoint of things. I can easily see, First Order probably, putting up a really, really good fight. I think that First Order is just going to be kind of nasty in like GAC, like defense or offense. Like they just beat everything, kind of like a Grievous. And like I think with Warrior, what he said with ships, I think that's probably the only other reason I'd probably go with them, because I think their ships are super, super awesome. But like, man, you just think, just looking at these new, kits, man, with the Resistance and the Poe and Finn, the TM swaps, the stuff, it just is ridiculous, I think. So I would probably go with them.
All right. Let's go back up to the top to you, Ian. Let me get to the next question. Hope's, well, let's see here. Okay, here's the next question from Hope's World. And it's an open question. Anybody can jump in. But we'll start with you, Ian. And their question is, if you had to choose, keep going for gas, new First Order Legendary, or new Resistance Legendary, which route would you go? I know my response. Gas, and then more gas, but...
Yeah, I would say that too, but like what Clash said like a little bit ago, there's so many counters to him right now. The only reason I would say to keep going for gas is if you were close to him. If you're not even close to him, and let's say you're closer to like a potential new Rey, I mean, this is all like, I guess, where you are in the game. If you have the resources built up and you like closer to that, then I would definitely go for that. If you're like your Resistance in your First Order, like Gear 11, Gear 12 right now, not even Gear 13, I would probably just go all in on gas, get him first. It really just depends on the person and where you are, because if you're not even close on one of them, then I wouldn't even consider it really. I would just go all in on one of them. So I had this question. I was on Cubs' video a while ago, and I had this question asked, and it's really not for me to answer, because it's a personal question. I guess you could answer yourself, because I'm not in their account. I can't really tell like what they have, so.
Well, I kind of look at it like this, and the rest of the panel can jump in. If you are already working toward gas, stay on target. Because we don't know what the other requirements are going to be for these Galactic Legendary characters. We only have one part of the 4-part quest saga, and that first part was a wowzer. It was like, oh, Relic 5 and 7, sure, yeah. So You know you're going to need the new characters somehow, in some way. There's a lot involved with Galactic Legends, and if you're already starting for Gas, and we know how good he is, my thought process is to go for Gas. You know, someone asked me this the other day, I don't know if it was out at the panel too, is the new Galactic Legends tunes something you should start off going for first if you're starting a new account?
That's like impossible to do.
And I said, not. And they said, if you're a Dolphin, I said, no, you better be a Kraken, because there's no way you're getting Relic 5 and 7 unless you spend a fortune on this game to get those characters at that level, because you just don't have the gear coming in. You're not even in a guild that's even doing some of that stuff, and you're going to have to buy all this crap. So
well, it's the relics, man. Like I'm finding this on my test account. Like I can't relic 1 to 3 my characters because I don't have, like, when relics came out, all of us here on the panel have been playing for a long time. We just had thousands and thousands and thousands of that white and green gear. If you're starting fresh, you don't. I mean, you're farming that stuff to get your characters up to levels. Gear 6, gear 7, gear 8. You just don't have the stockpile of things you like necessary to even relic characters up to 3. Like you can buy all the purple gear and take them from 5 to 7, no problem. You can buy all that stuff, but you can't physically do anything about the first 3 components without just physically farming it. Like I know on my test account, I spend 6 or 7 refreshes just farming those MK1 furnaces, the ones that one node that gives you 3
Oh,
of
I
them.
do that, yeah, religiously.
Like I have to spend all my refreshes. If I want to relic a character, I have to spend all of the refreshes on that test account just to get that one piece, so I can make the very first component for the relic out of the
Relic,
scavenger.
yeah, Relic 5, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass. So
yeah.
All right, let's go to the next question for Warrior. I'm skipping some of these fun ones. Mandalorian, get ready for some silly questions. They're coming, buddy. All right, next question for you, Warrior. Hope's World says, question, what are these amazing player strategies on modding? Kind of a general question, but if you want to share your thoughts on just modding in general, I think Warrior would be cool.
Yeah, so I mean, modding tips, I think best modding tips you can get would be, honestly, to go to YouTube. I have hundreds of videos on that, and so does probably everybody on the panel. But the best rule of thumb is you've got to know the character that you're trying to mod, and then stick with the character type and try to stick with what's the purpose of the character. So, I mean, if it's a tank, you're going to want to build within the characteristics of that character. So if a character's a tank, you're going to want to build around what's the character's purpose. So like if he's a tank, you want defense or potentially health or protection type primary stats, things like that. I'm just talking generalized. If he's an attacker, you're going to probably want, if he does physical damage, you're going to probably want to do critical chance and critical damage, or if he does special damage, you're gonna probably want to do offense. But sometimes when they do physical damage, you might want to do offense with crit chance, crit damage. So there's a lot of different variables, but it depends on the individual character, what the leader does, because sometimes the leader boosts certain stats, and so you can basically ignore needing to modify those stats within the modding, because if you get the crit chance from the leader, you may not have to add the critical chance, through modding yourself. So, I mean, it really is complex based off of what the team is adding to the team. There are a lot of teams where uniques within the team add to the team mod sets that you need. So it really depends on the individual character. But I have many videos that are still very, very relevant on modding, that explain what modding is, how to mod, why you should mod, that go over basics on modding and modding specifics. I have a 45-minute modding video that has over 300,000 views that explains the very detailed basics of modding and why you should mod a certain way. And it's obviously general rules of thumb, but it should help people understand modding and why you should mod certain ways. And then characters are going to be very specific in how you should mod. So it really, just like I said, depends on an individual character. Some characters require speed because they need to get off first. to put up specific buffs for the entire team. Other characters don't require speed at all because maybe it's a turn order thing and you want them to go last, or you want them to go third, and their speed is sufficient where it's at. It's too complex of an answer or question to be answered in a couple of minutes on a live stream. But trust me, there is plenty out there for this to be answered.
Yeah. But that's a pretty good point of talk about. Certain characters need speed, certain need, and those heavy hitters. And some teams need speed more than others. Like Darth Revan team needs speed. Padmé doesn't need speed. You can do just fine with a slow Padmé team and kick some ass. So, but yeah, the good thing, Hope, if you have other questions, you can just message me or any of these wonderful folks, and we'll be more glad to break it down for you, because each team dynamic is different. So, there you go. All right, next question for Gom. Let me get here. Well, Finney just said, question for Ranger. I just got an 18 speed set mod. Should I be depressed? No. Shut up, Finn. You're not even here helping me, so you get your ass out of the damn chat. Lazy bastard. I mean, I'm too busy to help you with the stream, Ranger, but I can be in here dicking around. Son of a... He's always doing this. Let me see here. Next question for Gom. Let me get it here. This is from our good friend XLore. He says, question, I'm testing to take out GG team with my Night Sister team. But which leader do you think is better, Talzin or Daka, if you're using Night Sisters against a Grievous team?
Daka.
Okay. And why?
But just keep in mind, though, if Wat's there, Wat Tambor makes it complicated.
Yeah, very complicated.
So simply for no other, especially if it's a Gear 13 or if it's a relic Wat Tambor, I wouldn't touch it. If it's a relic Wat Tambor modded for extreme amounts of health, you're gonna have a real hard time getting through that Grievous team, simply because they get so much extra protection. I mean, the extra protection they get from that relic Wat Tambor will really make it difficult. Just Grievous to be one, just do too many AoEs, eventually wipe your team out. Like even with the health and defense boost that Daka provides, again, they just take too many turns. They last too long, and they just melt your team. Talzin's okay. I haven't tried it too much.
Yeah,
I haven't tried it. My Night Sisters for my GP are kind of below the curve, so I haven't really tried a Talzin lead. But I think if you have relics, like really high relic Talzin and Spirit, that's potential. I mean, Talzin herself can get rid of B1.
I think on that is, from what Baka was telling me, is you want to run Daka if you don't have a high relic Daka, and then you can kind of swap over to Talzin if you have like a really, really high relic Daka.
There you go.
I think, I don't know, I think you should just always run Daka. I just think it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's incredible. Once you get her relic, she's a beast. So...
Yeah, because you really don't need the speed. You really don't need the speed that Talzin or Asajj provide against the droids. I mean, they're a slower team. Like even if they have a 290 to 300 speed B1, chances are your Asajj. Well, I guess Asajj is kind of worthless, but chances are your Spirit's right there competitive with it.
Yeah, the Spirit's a nasty, nasty thing in relic too. All right, next question for Clash. Let's see. Question for Clash from DPK. He says, what scoundrels are the best other than Nest to gear?
Loaded question, since there's 30 of them, and I love them all equally because they're all my babies.
There's some scoundrels I really don't like at all. There's some I absolutely adore. So
yeah, so for defense, I think right now, like the meta defense, if you want to call it that, for scoundrels, the ones that everyone seems to struggle with, that's going to be a Clone Wars Chewie lead, L3, Zeta Vandor, and then pick your two favorite scoundrel DPSers, whether that's Han Chewie, Zalbar Mission, Zalbar some other one, or ST Han, even if you just want to go a timeout team. Those are ones that if you've been able to draw out
you're cutting out there.
Those are the ones that always seem to be getting the most holds for people. Oh, sorry.
No, just watch it there. Your voice is cutting out. You're going a little roboto.
My fault. That's the one that's the one that I think is the most like prescient for defense. For offense, I still think you got to have at least a Omega leader Kira just to make sure that you can use Nest effectively. And then of course, for me, just because I like having a good solid counter to General Skywalker, Han and Chewie were the ones I think are the most important to get high relic, because they just put out so much damage and they can really help you find new ways to counter that team. So for me, those are the ones I think the most important out besides Nest. If you want to get into like some more nuanced ones that are underrated, I think of course Canderous is awesome. He does a really good job on a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the vets. No one has the vets high geared like me, but I get so many holds with them on defense because people just forget how their kit works, and they don't realize that vet Chewie can hit for 300k. So it's pretty fun.
All right, next question. We go to our man Mandalore. Let's get some of these ridiculous questions out of the way. First of all, this is from DPK Shaman. He says, when is Grande coming out of retirement? He's not retired. Damn it, DPK. And then Rooster says, question for Grandalore. Where's your doppelganger today? So that you knew that was coming. Like
I'm never coming back on this stream.
No.
Again.
What you have to do is rise above that nonsense. Because I have the Turtle Twins questions that come to me all the time. I rise above it. So if I can do that, you can do that too. Listen, Mandalore is not Grande. Grande is not Mandalore. Get over it. That's science. Son of God damn it. All right. But your real question is from Darth Nagiri, and their question for you is, what are your suggested relic levels to obtain gas?
I mean, I've seen it done with just B1 and Magna. When I did it, my DDK was still G12. A lot of it is RNG, man. Totally. A lot of it is RNG. I think that the last level is obviously the hardest. I mean, the one with Padmé, because it's Padmé, you can make up for a lot of lack of gear or relic levels with the kits if you run it properly. The hardest one is definitely the Asajj against gas. You need B1 high relic regardless, because it is instrumental in GAC TW. You might as well relic up B1. I like having a tanky Magna just to soak up the DPS so I can get the clones down before gas goes apeshit. But I've seen it done with just 2 G13 relic tunes in Magna and B1.
Yeah.
I guess those would be your priorities, because Asajj is kind of soft no matter what level she's at.
A lot of people relicked her. I know that was my thing, because she, for her stuns and stuff like that. When she gets relics,
I did that too.
Yeah,
I did that too, but I ended up losing her
a lot, probably
almost 50% of the time. Anyway, yeah.
I hate Phase 4. If you guys want to see this pain and suffering, go back. I have 15 hours of footage of me getting gas. It was wonderful.
That's a lot of footage.
It's a plethora of footage there. So there you go. All right, next question to Nev. This is from our good friend Helenix. It says, question, I heard BB9E, the first sort of version of BB-8, was just announced and introduced to Battlefront. It's in the game and you can play it. It's pretty amazing. That being the case, do we think SWGOH will finally get a BB9E tune into the game?
It wouldn't surprise me. The character, the prerequisite character requirements for the new Kylo Ren, that they're going to throw more. Well, both sides, Rey and the Kylo Ren, they're going to throw more new characters in there, because EA wants to make some, they want to make some dinero. So I think that that could potentially be one of the additional new characters that they throw in, that they make one of the prerequisites. So I wouldn't put it past them just to make the money. It's a character that they can make $300, $400, $500 off from the Krakens and the heavy whales.
All right. And it's funny, playing as much Battlefront as I have, and I'm sure there's some other people that have played Battlefront notice, if it comes in Battlefront, you bet your ass is coming to Galaxy Heroes, because Droideka, all these characters, right? ARC Trooper were in Battlefront first, and then, oh, look, they came to SWGOH pretty quickly afterwards. So, conspiracy? I think not. It's like, ARC Trooper came into Battlefront. Oh, wait, we're getting an ARC Trooper. Droideka came into Battlefront. Looks amazing. Oh, look, there's a Droideka in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. I don't know. All right, so let's go back to the top to Ian. And now the questions are coming in. All right. This is from Energy King. It's for everyone, but we'll start with you, Ian. If you have any thoughts on a new raid, any speculation of what era or tunes it might have bonuses, and who you might see as new tunes for it? Do you think we're getting a new raid? And if you do, where do you think era, characters, and stuff like that you think we'll get?
Well, didn't they say we're gonna get a new raid like right about now? Early
how about now?
This year? I don't think it's going to happen this early, but I'd say it's probably going to happen after these Galactic Legends. It's probably going to be a Death Star raid, if I were to assume. Because if you're going to start with like a ship raid, why would you like do some weird one from like a movie that nobody cares about, like number 9, you know? So like I think it would make the most sense to do it on like number 4,
or 6.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one too. I don't know. A Death Star raid makes the most sense because if you think about, I guess factions, different era of the game. We just got a bunch of stuff from the Clone Wars. I think it makes a lot of sense to go back on original trilogy because if you look at all these guys' kits for Empire and Rebels, the only ones from those 2 factions that are really good are like a few of them. Like you get the Thrawns, the Vaders, Emperor Palpatine for Empire, and then you can kind of toss in some other ones that are pretty good, but I wouldn't say are as good as those 3. And then for like the Rebels, you got Silas Han Chewie, you got some of the droids, and then out of everything else in that faction is just really, really outdated and old. I still do think that their kits are good. Like I love Stormtrooper Han and how he kind of functions, and I think Leia can be good, but just like the kits are just really outdated. And even like with Gear 13 and Relics, I still think they're really missing a really big chunk. Although with Stormtrooper Han, man, you get that evasion. I think that's really awesome. The dodge chance or whatever it is. But yeah, I think it's going to be probably centered around original trilogy, Rebels, Empire. Maybe, I don't know. I was thinking of like maybe they were going to go, because like Galactic Legends, the new movie stuff, maybe they're going to go do like a whole raid about Episode 9 and what happened in that kind of movie. But I don't know if that makes really too much sense to me. I think it would make more sense if they were to do original trilogy. Not just my take on it, though.
All right. Anybody else on thoughts of the raids or anything like that?
Yeah, it's got to be. There is definitely a ship raid coming this year. They've touched on it 3 times in 3 Q&As. The last Q&A of 2019, they said that there is definitely a ship raid coming. They haven't said when it's coming. They haven't said what it's going to look like, but they have said that there is a ship raid coming. I reckon it'll be the 3rd quarter. Either the end of the 3rd quarter or the beginning of the 4th quarter of this year. But a ship raid's coming. It has to be the Death Star. Everybody talks about it. It is 100% talked about as being a Death Star raid, whether it's Episode 4 or Episode 6. I don't think it matters. It's going to be light side versus dark side, and the reward. In my mind, I mean, I wouldn't bet the house on it. Maybe the car, but it's going to be an X-wing for CLS.
All right. Let's see. Next question. We go to Warrior. Let's see here. Sorry, my thing's updating. So we have a specific question for you, Warrior from Revenator. Says, question for Warrior: would a ship's raid be something that brings you back into the game? Since we just talked about that, and previously, he wants to know what your thoughts if ships came into the game, what would happen?
Yeah. Anything's possible. New content would be awesome, but there's a lot of broken things that still haven't been fixed. There's a lot of, there'd be a lot of new content that would need to be, I'd like to see a lot of new content. I'd like to see a lot of stuff that's broken fixed. I'd like to see them communicate more. I don't know. Probably not, Revenator. Love you, bro. But probably not. But it would be cool, and I'd love to see it. I'd love to see what it looked like. I'd love to see the reaction from the community, and I'd love to see it happen. I do think we'll get a raid next year, 2021, springtime. So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Next question will go to Gom. This is from Kara Elder. Question: because the feats keep showing Sith and Sith ships, and the login rewards are pilot the past 2 months, what do you think they are hinting at? It's Sith and Resistance capital ships, possibly?
Well, they pretty much directly told us we're getting both of one of First Order and Resistance capital ships. Yeah, the Finalizer and what was the name of the Resistance one?
The one Holdo flew, right?
Radis.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, they've already confirmed those two are coming. Everyone's speculating Hux is going to be the fleet commander of the First Order, but seems to be 50-50 in the community. Just chatting with people, some people think they're going to release a new Leia. Some people think the capital ship commander will be Holdo. So either one of those. Boy, Leia would be a real curveball, wouldn't she? That'd be yeah. She'd be required to for the Galactic Legend Ray. But was that the question? If I think the fleet's coming? Yes, they're confirmed. When? Unsure. What exactly they do? Unsure. But they did much like the raids. So I mean, it could be months and months away. But yeah, they've been confirmed already.
All right. Next question. We go to Clash. Okay. Nobunagas' question for you, Clash. Are Shock T's unique and 3PO Zetas useful in the gas event? What are your thoughts?
The gas event, I think Shock T, yeah. 3PO, I don't have either of his, and I didn't seem to have a problem with it. Maybe that's just me.
I mean, Shock T, definitely, you want that unique. I think you don't need both of 3POs. The one, I think, with, what, was this Rebels or something like that? I can't remember. You don't need both of them. I'm just trying to think of, like, if 3POs...
Or her leadership Zeta is completely unnecessary.
No,
just for the
yeah,
event.
you definitely don't want that. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I didn't use either of his, and he was Gear 12, so...
Okay. All right. Next question for Mandy. Charlie Boy says, question, anyone experimented heavily with GG under a new lead? With some potency and Wat, maybe L3 as a tank could be a sneaky way to use GG and GAC. What do you think of that, Mandy?
Newt lead, GG, Wat.
Maybe L3 as a tank.
I mean, L3 as a tank doesn't work because she's going to kill herself, even with her heals. I'm assuming B1 would balance it out. I mean, that'd be interesting. But then your only DPS really is going to be GG. It depends on, unless you throw B1, you have B1 in there. It depends on, I mean, if you're putting on D, that could be, I don't know if the AI is going to play it the way you want it to. For O, if you're dropping extortion and you put Wat weapon tech on B1, that could be a lot of DPS.
Right.
That could be a lot of DPS. It kind of kills
GAC,
two teams.
Yeah,
but
that's the problem. It kills two teams. I
yeah,
mean, it doesn't...
that would be my concern. It could theoretically kill two teams because you don't have Wat. Assuming you're in a higher bracket, you don't have Wat for a potential gas counter, so you better have that 3PO counter down. Yeah, I think in a vacuum it would be pretty beast, but I don't know how practical it is. I mean, I like impractical comps, so that's fine. I have a whole playlist on impractical comps, but
right.
In terms of practicality, it could be problematic.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Next question for you now. We go to Captain Blackbeard. Captain Blackbeard. Question for the execute order 66 feet. What are the order 66 characters we need to use? I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, Nev. Let me give you another question here. It's Sidious, Palpatine, Cody, Sergeant, and ARC Trooper. Do I have that right?
I think you're correct. I think you've got that right, yeah.
I'm not even trying for that nonsense. Are you even going to attempt that nonsense? Some of these feats, like the double-bladed lightsaber one, I'm like, okay, I'll do that. The other ones, but these ones, I'm like, oh God, no.
It's very, very difficult to go for the feats in the lower divisions because when you're in the lower divisions, you just don't have that depth of roster.
Right.
I mean, you can go for the generic feats, so X amount of undersized and winning first time and fleet arena and squad arena wins. So the generic feats that are in every single GAC. Yeah, sure, you can go for those early, but I mean, like with all of these Sith ones, it's very, very difficult because when you're early game, you're not farming for Maul, you're not farming for Savage, you're not farming for those characters. So it's very, very difficult unless you're an early game whale or an early game dolphin. It's very, very tough to go for those unique feats that they bring in every different GAC. So as you start getting beyond division, I would say division 3, 2, and 1, when you've got like a full roster and you've got, you have a plethora, as you so eloquently put it, of factions, then those more unique feats are more doable, and it's feasible to put the time and the effort into maybe finishing a couple of characters just to get the feats. Because I mean, a perfect example would be when they did the Clone Wars Era one on the Pom-Pom-tastic account I had. My clone troopers were trash, but the feat was win a battle with 3 clone troopers. So I would put in 2 OP characters that I knew could solo against one of the back row teams, and then I just threw 3 level 1 clone troopers in there just to get the feat. So it is possible, but tactically it might not be worth it, especially if you need the banners.
All right.
Don't cost yourself the match trying for these feats.
No.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. From a tactical point of view, do not, don't give up on banners. If you really, if you're needing to average 56, 57 banners in order to win a round, don't put in weak ass characters just to get 90 banners on a feat when you could lose the 1,000 for the win. So yeah.
All right, next question back up top. We go to Ian, and the question is from Kara Elder, and the question is, what's the difference in use for slow Padmé and fast Padmé? What's the purpose of each? And I went to you specifically on this because I know you've done a video on the Padmé team and stuff like this, so I know this is in your wheelhouse.
So this is I like talking about Padmé. I haven't used her in a while, though, to counter people in my arenas, but for like GAC, I love her. But so fast and slow. The only reason I'd say to run it slow is if you're using her versus Malik's. If you're not using her versus Malik's and to counter that Darth Revan team, you have no reason to run her slow. Everything else should be fast. I can't think of another team you want her to be slow in. So like if you maybe want to keep Padmé for offense in like a GAC, you can run her slow, counter that Darth Revan Malik. Maybe you still have gas. You can use him versus another team, or heck, you can place him on defense because you already just countered that team. So, yeah, I think, fast Padmé should be used in every aspect of how you plan on using her. If it's not versus Malik, then I would go slow, because I love me some fast Padmé. It like throws off, if you were to use her on defense, it throws off some of those EPs. If you want to even toss in 3PO in there, it throws off the Treyas. It's a great team, and I actually kind of like her kind of fast in mirrors, because I do happen to stumble around some mirrors sometimes. In GAC, I have to mirror Padmé with my own Padmé, so I like that.
All right. Let's see. Next question will go to Warrior. Let's go here. Well, here's a fun one. We got two from Ouchie Girl here. Where one's kind of a fun one. It says, question, is Sith month dead? And I think you kind of know what this is referencing, Warrior, where
every February.
Yeah,
3 years in a row they do Sith. I do actually think it's dead, and the reason why it's dead is because they're 3 months behind. So I mean, if you want to include Kylo Ren as Sith, which is not really true because he's First Order. Kylo Ren. So unfortunately, Sith month is dead. The tradition, the time-honored 3-year tradition of Sith month is gone. So go next question.
Yeah. This is her question, and she says, question, remember when Doc used to res herself and she got fixed? When Jedi Knight Revan Savior procs on himself, is that kind of the same thing?
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah, because it affects any Jedi, right? It doesn't matter whether it's him or any Jedi on that team. Whoever dies first procs Savior, right? Am I missing something here?
I think if he's the lead. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah,
I think he only saviors himself if he's the lead.
Correct.
I'd have to read the kit again, and
For
I don't
who?
have the game.
For
Pick
Jedi
AR.
Revan.
No, he can be in any spot.
Any
He just has
spot.
to be he has to be alive. If he dies, then the savior never happens.
What if he's the
He
leader?
won't save himself.
He doesn't have to be in the leader. No.
Oh,
It's
really?
unique. Yeah.
So, am I crazy? But doesn't it proc on him if he's the first one that goes down?
Oh, I guess
Not
yeah.
if
If
he's
he's a,
not the
if he's a
leader.
leader, then I think yeah, it still works. But if he's
He's
like
not the leader.
Yeah, if he's
Yeah,
not
no,
a leader, he
it-
has to be alive. If you want to, like, if for example you're fighting Grievous, and let's say your Bastila gets crawled on from Grievous and she dies, he has to be alive for that savior to still stay. But if he gets crawled on from Grievous and he dies, and then somebody else dies after, that's not a savior. You don't get a savior from that.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
So-
Yeah, it saves himself once, or it will save somebody else, but it only happens one time.
that's right. Okay, gotcha. I was just wondering. I was like, okay, we had to think about that one for a second.
And since it's a unique, he doesn't have to be in the leadership slot.
Right. Okay, gotcha. All right, there you go, Ouch. I hope that answers your question. Let's see here. Let's see. Durgan, let me answer this one because it's kind of a silly question. Durgan, which will we see first? A new raid release or Affinity on the stream again? Oh, that's tough. We'll see Affinity first. I don't have faith in CG. All right, let's see here. Go to you, Gom. We have one from Hope's World. Kind of a... So here's the first one. Question, when will they make the new Mandalorian tune and a Baby Yoda won't actually die because that would be disturbing, but he rescued maybe by IG-11 when everyone else died. What do you think they're going to start, because of the popularity of the Mandalorian series, when do you think we'll start getting those tunes, and do you think how they're going to use Baby Yoda?
Well, I think a couple weeks ago, Warrior touched on this. And he just touched on a second ago, that they are pretty behind. So I think any plans for any sort of characters from that show, they will probably come after what they're already working on. So I mean, you can maybe, if they're smart, they'll do it probably around the release of season 2, is what I would guess. That's just a pure guess. When we can start seeing some of those characters, maybe. I mean, it took them a while. Remember with the Rebels show, it took them until they were well into season 2. Yeah.
Before they even introduced those characters to the game. I mean, that series have been running for a while, but like it depends on the popularity. Now that Mandalore is popular, I'm sure they're probably looking at aspects of characters to bring to the game, because unlike what was the other one, Resistance or whatever it was, that show tanked, and you're not seeing any of that stuff anytime soon in the game.
Yeah, but you say that, and we still don't have the content from episode 9 that came out 2 months ago.
I know, right?
So they've already missed I think they've already promised us these Galactic Legends. They're slowly leaking those out. They did hint at a new raid. They got so much stuff they said they're going to do. They consistently say that they're going to do something with some sort of sandbox mode. They went from ice cold to that to slowly getting warmer and warmer and warmer with that. So they got a whole bunch of stuff. I don't want to use the word promise, but they have announced that they're working on. Because that means just because they're working on something, much like the abilities for the relics, we don't get those out of here. We're done with those. We changed them. Psych. They psych us out. So
yeah,
it'd be cool. I mean, because that'd be cool. To have a new faction in general would be cool. A Mandalore faction. I mean, that's feasible with the characters that we have in the game and some new ones. So that would be cool.
All right. Let's see here. Going to Clash next, and let's see here. Well, first of all, Ouchie says, "Will the new guests on the panel be back next week?" Yes, they're all invited back next week. They have open invitations to pop in whenever they want. So they just have to be here Saturday morning if they can be here. So there we go. Here's a question from Zoloth Zebra Clash. Question: I just got Malik to 7. What team should I look for to solo in GAC?
A lot of options there. A lot of ones that I've seen fail.
I had one fail the other day because I've been using it so much in Shock T clones and it's been working. Then all of a sudden the other day I was like, "What? Wait, what? Why is this Why is this not working?"
Yeah, you got to be careful with Shock T clones. It can get away from you.
Yes.
I've used Malik a few times to solo. I think Old Republic is an easy one to solo with Malik. They just don't they can't do enough damage, and he, of course, will eventually just, life force suck them all.
Mhm.
And I look at it almost anything that you would worry about there being a health reduction on in general, right? Where someone's trying to, there's a big, like Rex, obviously it was an easy one, but anywhere where you would think, okay, if I use some other, character and they could be potentially one shot, he's probably not going to be at risk for that. So the things I would avoid, like JTR or anything with like a healing immunity or anything that has multiple stuns. But it seems like there's lots of different ways. It's very dependent on you knowing the mechanics of it, knowing how, because just like with Ewoks, right? You can get stuck on a Phoenix team with I've seen one on a team where like, I'll go in there and just kill all the Phoenix, and it doesn't work. They can armor shred, they can stun, they can daze. It's so my favorite ones, of course, are probably Old Republic.
Oh yeah,
It's
a simple 64 banner win there.
Yeah.
All right, next question will go to you, Mandy. Let's see. Well, Hope's World said, Ranger, my Mandalorian question should first go to Mandalore. All right, what are your thoughts on the new Mandalorian characters? Man, I didn't see this until it came in here. What do you think?
I just said it in chat. I think
that. Oh,
that,
did you? Okay, I didn't. See
Yeah,
that.
I said Baby Yoda has to be a summonable character for Din Djarin, and I think it'll come out on Christmas because they'll be like halfway through second season by then, and then I think the ship's raid optimally would be for May 4th, but I don't think they're going to make that date.
No. All right, so Kara has a question. Says, we're going to you, Mandalore, first. If you set Darth Revan on defense and make Malik the fastest, he will remove taunt, and the Revan will fear everyone, making it hard on defense. With Revan first, he wastes fear. I see it works to. I seen it to work to recommend it. So here's the thing. I'll let you go first, Mandy. The thoughts on trying to go for the. So what they're talking about is on defense having super fast Malik and then Revan like 1 speed or 2 speeds slower than that, which is awesome, but there are some problems with it, but I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it does work. I think that Malik really optimally should be the fastest or the slowest character on the team. I have him in between, so I just don't care to remod him right now when I have all these other things to do. But I think if you can swing it, ideally he's either the fastest or the slowest.
Yeah. So here's the thing. When you talk about this, Kara, but you first of all, GAC, you need to look at if you set that up ahead of time. You don't know. It's different when you're in Arena Shard because you can go in and look at everybody's speed and see. Like for Arena, it's if you can have the fastest Malik in your Arena Shard, or like 98%, then fine, go for it. In Darth Revan. Ideally, though, for JC, you're locked in and you have no idea what the speed's going to be on their Darth Revan and Bastila and stuff like that. So it could come back and bite you in the ass. So for defense, it still works for me. Fast, super fast. For mine, 339 speed on Revan, 315 on Basti. Anything above 330 and 310 for those two characters is where you want to be at. And it works just as well as having a fast Malik. Because if you go into GAC and they outspeed you with their Revan, forget it. And they could go in on their team. It's like, oh, they've got a fast this. I'll go in with 2 tanks. So it kind of works against you for GAC. So okay, let me get to the next question. That was Mandy. We'll go to Nev next. Let me pull it up. As I said, I'm on quadruple duty right now, so I'm trying to do multiple things at once. Let me see here. Well, first of all, let me answer Alchi's question. It says, Ranger, will we see Team Mixed Grill and GAC this round? No. All right, so we'll go to you, Nev, for this next one. This is from Hope's World. And the question is, and it's open for everybody, but we'll start with you. What has been the most surprising creative PETA defense squad you have encountered in GAC?
Oh, blimey. Well, I suppose one of the most interesting ones was a separate. It was a Newt lead separatist squad. It wasn't on one of my main accounts. It was on my Merc account. It was a separatist, but it had Cassian Andor in there.
Oh, really?
So it was 4 separatists with a new lead, but it had, and I'm thinking to myself, this has got to be a mistake. You know, I just didn't quite get it. But this Cassian Andor was super fast, and it just put debuffs on me. And then you've got the Newt Gunray. It just piled on the debuffs, and I think that they put the Cassian Andor in there purely for the debuffs, because I put a decent squad up against it, and I just got wiped. I didn't even take a single squad out because my turn mate had just got crippled. Everything slowed down to a grinding halt, and it might have been it might have been the squad, it might have been bad RNG, but yeah, it was a really, really strange one, and I ended up having to waste a second squad to go in and finish it off.
Right.
That was faster, because I literally, I just looked at that Cassian Andor and thought, they've made a mistake, they've screwed up there, but it was super fast. It went first. It put debuffs on my squad, and then the rest of the separatists they just wiped me out. So that's the most interesting team that I've come across in GAC for sure.
All right, everybody else, Clash. We'll start with you. Any strange anomalies you've seen? Or you're like, oh, I'm gonna go kick this ass, and then you're like, all right, and it's gone.
Yeah. So I would say Separatists by far right now are the one faction that the most unique stuff can happen with, just because they've got so many different good leadership options. I faced a Dooku lead once that I totally underestimated, and it bit me in the butt. It was like Dooku, Newt, I think a Droideka was in there, but then they used like a Chase combo behind that, and I was thinking, oh, no big deal. I'll go in there with anyone in there with like bugs or something, and it didn't matter. They still managed to take out. I think I ended up winning, but they killed 2 or 3 of my bugs. I was like, what the hell was that? How did that happen? Right? So it was pretty interesting. I thought it was good.
That's interesting. Ian, what about you, buddy?
I never lose, so every single
That's
team
right.
is
You're
easy
so
for me.
cabby. You're like me. You never lose. It's amazing. The cabberness.
Never lose. However, Padmé and tossing a little Malik there, that always is a little bit scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Padmé with Malik, that is kind of scary. Wait a minute.
Or Ewoks with Malik, that's also a bit scary.
That would throw me off completely too.
You know one though that kind of almost threw me off. I love my Traya sign. I need to get Traya Gear 13. I have a Gear 13 sign right now. If you want to kind of, I would say like 100% stop Traya Scion counter to Geos, but if you have a Geos and you have Django, tossing in Django there with the burning, kind of reducing Scion's HP a little bit, and then their Geos can, do some bigger hits. Almost got me. It didn't get me though, because I got a Gear 13 Scion. I killed Django before he could do anything crazy, but that is something that I thought was interesting.
I'd ask Gom what he thinks when he's KFA, because he put the damn thing backwards. I don't know what that is. Oh my god. What the hell is going on with Gom? Look at that. Let's just put that on the screen here. Let me highlight this video. Let's spotlight that, because this is what Gom put up. Is he dyslexic? What is this? Oh no.
Nice.
Well, we're not going to go to him. Warrior, any thoughts on anything you've ever seen, strange team that was like, okay, I didn't see that coming, and kicked my ass?
I would definitely agree with the separatist mentality. I've had a Newt lead with, Sunfac, and who else was it? It was Newt, Sunfac, and I don't remember who the third was. But anyway, there's been some miscellaneous separatists. It was probably Count Dooku, someone like that, or it was, Jango Fett or something. I don't know. There's been some wicked combinations, 3 versus 3, especially, where you're like, I can't kill, and he's regenerating. Oh, it was Wat. It was Sunfac, Wat, and Newt, and it was an absolute nightmare on 3 versus 3. They were all relic, like 5 or above, and I could not get Sunfac's protection off, and he was the only one I could target. It was an absolute nightmare, because he had, it was a mess. It was an absolute mess.
Gom's back. We were having some fun with your KFA message there, Gom.
Yeah, my dumbass wrote it backwards and forgot that it mirrored on the screen the first time. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was the best. All right.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right, next question. Let's go here. Let's see. All right, next question to Ian. Jedi Gunny says, question, just got Wat to 7 stars. Ideal speed for him, I'm currently at 280. God damn, that's pretty good. What do you think? Ideal speed for Wat and stuff.
The faster the better. If you plan on using him under Grievous, I would say you want to have him as fast as possible to try to get 2 pieces of tech off. But man, I'm pretty sure it was yesterday in Metaverse with Gom's server. People were like, because I've seen this myself, the first tech always is a tank tech, right? But the second one is always a weird one that he gives out. It can be, weapons tech. It can be the other weird med packy thing. I don't know the name of it. But ideally, you would want to have that weapon tech to go on to Grievous, right? So he gets even more turn meter and does more damage. But it is so random at times. But you still want to have Wat fast just so you can ensure you get 2 pieces of tech off. Mine's only 6-star. I don't use him in defense. I use him offensively, whether it be with a CLS counter those really high defense gases, or I use him with First Order to counter Night Sisters. But mine right now is at 250. I think shooting at 300 plus is really, really solid. That's what I would say.
All right.
And I would say you would want that weapon tech to go on B1 and have your B1
yeah,
really, really fast. And oh my gosh, when B1 goes nonstop, it just shreds the other team.
That's interesting.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Both are really good with it, but yeah, I can see B1 because you get even more turn meter with his unique and on top of the weapon tech. So
there you go. All right, next question for you, Warrior, from Brian Bodie. He says, question, I'm almost done with JTR, Major Tom, and Old Finn. I'm going for Resistance, not First Order. Who should I take to Gear 13 next? BB-8?
That's a super safe bet. Even if it's not needed, which BB-8 probably will be, but even if he's not needed for the 13 character requirement, BB-8 is a staple in Resistance and is a absolute must for a dozen teams for every raid and a bunch of other teams for PvE and PvP and GAC and territory wars and battles and everything. Just BB-8. BB-8's the way to go.
Yeah, BB-8's pretty nice. Because you can get your little BB-8 going fast, and that's why you don't need a fast JTR, because BB-8 gets going, he wiggle, and then JTR's off and running, and then that's why that team
and he crosses over, right? I mean, he's usable in all of the droids, and you can use him with, in the hat raid with, anything. I mean, he's just kind of like a plug and play. You can really use him all over the place. So it's not even Resistance necessarily. I mean, you can, like I said, use him with droids and some other stuff. So definitely Gear 13.
All right. Let me look here. Getting the questions up and running. Give me a second. Let's see. Let me see if there's any. Wow, we've caught up to questions. Wow, we've done over 30 questions so far, and we're caught up. This is what happens when Finn's not here. We're efficient.
I actually have to bail anyways.
Okay, so go ahead and pimp your stuff, and then I'll let you get you out of here, Warrior.
Yeah, and then everybody else can kind of do their thing or whatever. But I appreciate you having me on. I'm glad you've got a bunch of fresh blood on there, so make sure everybody goes and likes all the channels. Thanks for having me on as always. It's been fun for the last few years. You go to Warrior Presents, turned it into an entertainment channel. Who knows? Maybe I'll come back to the game. We don't know. You can still go and watch all of my older videos. Most of them are still very, very relevant. Like my, Acklay down video that shows how to beat the Acklay, my modding videos and more. So you can still go and check out any of that. So there's lots of great content for that. And if you want to watch me banter and have fun and still do story time, you can still watch my videos weekly on my channel. So thanks for having me on as always.
Always a pleasure, my brother.
All right.
All right, man.
You guys.
See you, man. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, man. See you guys.
Yep. You two, we're not answering your questions about the damn. Go do your homework. We're not helping with your homework. God dang it, this is a Galaxy Heroes stream, not son of a bitch. God damn it. It's like you didn't answer my question, because it's not a Star Wars Galaxy. God. All right, see if there's any other questions. Giving it one more call, and then we're gonna let everybody pimp their stuff. Just making sure. Okay, Kara, last question. We'll go here. We'll throw it around to everybody because this is news. Question: did you hear McMullen is back, and what do you think of that? So everybody, I'm glad to have McMullen back. I love, yeah, it's McMullen, man.
Had him, Paul and I had him on the Escape Pod cast last night.
Yeah.
So we had him on for our fourth and final.
I haven't had a chance to listen to it.
Night.
What did he say? I mean, what was his thoughts and things like that? Can you give the quib notes of what happened?
Well, I mean, the cliff notes were, he felt that he could come back into the game and have fun. So it's not coming back in to be like a mega whale. He just kind of dipped his toe in and thought, you know what, I can come back and just have fun. So that so he doesn't have any plans to come back and like start heavy whaling. He gave his thoughts on the stuff that he's missed over the past few months, such as the hyperdrive bundle, and he had a very, very strong opinion regarding Lightside GOTP.
No, who doesn't?
So but yeah, no, if you just want to hear his initial thoughts, because I mean, Paul found out that he came back, and within a couple of hours of his announcing that he was back, he had him. We got him on the show. I mean, it was just circumstance. We were the channel that was we were the channel closest to going live after his return, and we just got lucky getting him on. So I think it's great that he's back. It's great that he's back, and I'll be interested to see what he does, because he's just going to have fun with his account. So his content's going to be about him having fun with his account. And as far as I'm concerned, that's going to be some good value entertainment there.
Yeah, I agree.
And Dragon Champion sucks. Kidding.
Tell us what you think about Dragons and Champions, Doc.
Real story. Last night, I was just pure random, just going through my ally list and kind of making some room for some people for the channel. And I get all the way to the bottom, and McMullen was still on my ally list. It said last active 22 seconds. I was like, huh? Like, wait a second. This is good. And but for him, I haven't spoken to him, but he did get Skywalker right before he took a break. So he's going to have a 7-star, but he hasn't really missed that much. So
No.
I mean, he should be able to get right back into it, make good content. We've talked about the raid. McMullen's always been one of the premier raid video guys, so it'll be good to have him back for when that new content does come out. So good. Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? McMullen thoughts before we wrap it up here?
McMullen was my favorite butt buddy besides Clash, so I'm very happy.
Wow.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Using the buddy system. They're going to say using that buddy system. All right. We're going to wrap it up there. So that was the last question I saw. So we'll let everybody pimp their stuff. And yes, quit asking me, sending me stuff in Discord. These guys are always welcome to come back every weekend from this point moving forward. I was trying to get DB on here, but Nev, you may have to work on him. You use your Englishness to say, "Hey, look, buddy."
Yeah, I'll use the British connection.
Yes, use the British connection.
I will
Get
use the
Mike
British
Hunt on
connection.
That. Yes, see, that's science. But we'll let everybody pimp their stuff. We'll start with you, Clash. Where can folks check you out at and stuff you're working on? Name your channel, all that good stuff. Get that information to the people out there.
Sure, yeah. I actually linked it to you in the Discord in case you need it. I don't know if it's on the YouTube.
Yeah, we'll get it in there. Just send it to Finn. He always
Spot
goes
or
back
not,
in and
but-
puts all that stuff in there. But yeah, just tell people where they can go at. And
Okay, cool. Yeah, you just Clash DOE, search that. It should come up pretty easily. It's been about a month since I made a video, actually, so I'm a little bit overdue. I generally make videos whenever I find something creative or unique, and it's been a little bit since I found something. I've got 2 new videos that I'm working on right now, both on Newt and how you can use them both on offense and on defense that I think is underexplored. So that should be fun. Of course, you guys know my first love is Scoundrels, but I am diversifying my mix-up. I've got a Phoenix video I'm working on because they actually can come in handy at some point. So Clash DOE. Thanks, guys.
there you go. Next, we'll allow Nev. Where can folks check you out at, Nev?
Folks can check me out at the Escape Podcast. Me and my co-host Paul, obviously weekly live show. I do have a private channel, which is just Nev. My shtick used to be that I would do daily content, and I've kind of petered away from that because the Hyperdrive bundle totally screwed up what my daily content was about, which was free to play, and it's a little bit difficult to do pure free to play on a new account with a Hyperdrive bundle around. So, but yeah, we're doing a big push on the Escape Podcast's channel to 1,000 subscribers, so that I can live stream me cutting off all this lovely hair for charity.
Hey, there you go. Very nice. All right, Gom, you got a lot of stuff going on. Pimp your stuff, my friend.
Well, you can find me at Metaverse Operation. It's a YouTube channel. We stream on Thursday nights.
Move your mic closer to your mouth, buddy. I can barely hear you.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Why don't you tell the folks, good old Maurice, a little bit about...
I can't do that. That's your bag, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you're working on.
I can have the floor? I'm just kidding. Operation Metaverse, Thursday night.
Well, that's it for good old Maurice.
Operation Metaverse streams 10 p.m. Thursday nights. Also, Ramon Azab's live show Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find me there. You can find me at Operation Metaverse. Join the Discord. I believe I can give you guys a link if you'd like that.
Yes. Throw it in. And then make sure you send that to Finn, just so you can make sure it's all in the description and stuff.
I'm not even looking at the description.
Look, if it's not there, just send it to Finn. For all you guys, just send it to Finn, and he'll get it added. That's his thing.
Thank you guys, and thank the rest of the panel for all you guys for showing up this morning. I know the last few times I've been here, it's been just Warrior and I, so it's good to get all these different perspectives from people. So thank you guys for all of you showing up this morning. Thank you.
Yes. All right, and then Mandy, Mandalore. What's going on?
That?
What's going on with the clans, and what's going on with your channel? You want to pimp your stuff, buddy?
Sorry, dropped my phone. Channel's going. Almost at 4,000. Sorry, almost at 4,000 subs. So we're getting up there. I got a new host of channel members. I got about 17 now. Really appreciate all those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, just status quo, waiting for more new content. Hopefully.
Don't let Mandalore get bored. Damn it, CG, put out some shit. Sick of this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to these new Assault Battle Challenge tiers because those are difficult and a lot of fun. So
there you go. All right, and then it's just Ian, my man, the mullet wearer himself. Well, what's going on with your channel? What are you working on? Give us a pimp your stuff, my friend.
Well, I am theory crafting videos about doing videos because there's not a whole lot of videos to make right now.
Okay, that's science.
So, I'm just kidding. No, I like to do, since the whole hyperdrive, I've been trying to do some newer content for newer players, like just kind of rehashing old stuff, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's just Ian on YouTube, or just type in Ian SWGOH, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know. We're getting up there. It's a fun experience. I like it. I'll probably do every day videos, daily videos, streams, every JCL stream. So that's me, and I gotta do some more BF2 with you, Ranger.
Yeah, we have to set that up. I mean, I'm trying to get my Xbox readjusted and stuff. But yeah, let me know when you're free, man, and we'll do Battlefront anytime. We got new content that we can talk about and show with the new planets and
droids, yeah.
And little droids. They're little badass droids, man. They run around just shocking and killing the shit out of people, man. I was watching. I always watch Swanee plays games for his channel for Battlefront, and he was just wrecking people with BB-8. I was just laughing my ass off. And the new Galactic Supremacy for the First Order and Resistance when they get on the ship is epic, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm digging it. So new characters, the new troopers. You get your Sith trooper in there. You get the Flame trooper. You get the Rocket trooper from the movie, and those things are stupid, man.
I hope we get a Rocket trooper, that Jet trooper.
Oh, it's so much fun.
That'd be so awesome.
Yes. So, all right. With that, we're gonna call this one done. Do me a favor, guys. Stop what you're doing. Give us a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe. Appreciate all you guys showing up. Make sure you check out these other wonderful content creators. Support their channels. Go through all their stuff. Find stuff that you like. Give thumbs up. Just give them, if you want to give them constructive criticism or anything you see on the videos, that's always welcomed as well. But don't be an ass clown, as I say, because I'm sure they're like me. They're just going to be like, okay, delete that message. So, but if you have some good stuff you want to put to them, look at this stuff. Find the stuff that you like. They've got all kinds of great videos and stuff out there. Again, they come here on a Saturday to come answer your questions. I'll at least show your appreciation for that by going to their channels. Do the same thing for us. If you like what we're doing here on the Jedi Academy, you can hit the thumbs up, subscribe, so you get the bell notifications on all that stuff. You can see me tomorrow night with Gom and Remon and his 3-dot mods on the Alliance stream with Remon. It's pretty much me yelling and screaming at Remon that his modding is ridiculous. I don't know how you guys feel, but when I see crit chance and crit damage on Kenobi, I get really upset. So you can check that out. Now it's for RSG the channel. Tomorrow I will do my GAC on our path to Cabber. I have to continue my winning streak and keep getting Cabber. Once you've gotten Cabber as much as I have, if you don't get Cabber, you suck. I can't let that happen to my fans. So we'll do the GAC tomorrow, and then we'll have our D&D stream, 5th edition, Star Wars. If you guys haven't checked that out, it's over. It's on this channel, YouTube. You can come check us out as we play Dungeons and Dragons, 5th edition. So that's a lot of fun. People enjoy that. And then Monday we'll be back with our regular scheduled times of lunch streams and GACs and our Wednesday night stream as we get closer and closer to 200. And if you guys can, if you want to check out, I'm proud of this. Not only did we hit our goal for our ACS campaign this year, we've blown by it. Last count we were at 18.5. Our goal was 17,500. We already hit 18,500 with more coming in. So we got more stuff we're doing for the ACS. Remember, that's all culminating in us in April. Mid-April, we're going to be doing the 5K and the half marathon at Disney World. We'll be representing the American Cancer Society, and we are partnered with them as Gamers for Cancer. Tiltify is found down below if you'd like to support us. There's some fun challenges still out there. So yeah. And in answer to your question, I think someone asked me why I hate the Internal Twins. I love the Internal Twins. I played the shit out of the Old Republic game. Problem is, I get 9,000 stupid questions about everything related to Eternal Twins every day, and I hate it. So there you go, whoever asked that question. So thank you guys for being here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's Saturday. Unfortunately, it's snowing here in Alabama, which is stupid. I'm not happy about this. So you live down south to avoid the snow. Good old Maurice, it's coming toward you next, buddy.
Yes.
So enjoy.
Here in South Carolina, we get 1 centimeter of snow and the whole state just shuts down. Grocery stores empty. It's
on top of
yes.
each other.
Oh, okay.
Day off work.
So we love you guys. Thank you for being here. Spread the word and check out all these other channels. So on behalf of myself and the council, thank you guys so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you later. Peace out.